You're curious about something?
Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, considering our bond. Yes, there is something I would like to ask, if you'll permit it.
Do I have a choice? No, go ahead.
In our time together, I've been watching you. You are a true servant of the light. You follow the tenets of the Jedi Order despite the lure of the dark side. And with so little training, for me it has always been a constant battle. Don't you find it difficult at all? You make it seem so easy. Or is that only an illusion?
I'm trying to think because what is a constant battle is interesting. Assuming that, like, for the most part, light side versus dark side is sort of influenced by dialogue choices. I mean, it kind of is that easy because I don't like being mean to people. Even when I try and do evil runs, I'm terrible at it. I really am. I'm so bad. I wish I didn't get so invested in games because then I could have fun doing evil runs. But even when I try not to get attached to characters and things, apparently I can't help it. Or I haven't figured out how to yet anyway, so then I just feel bad. But also, I'm trying to think of like what's normal in this universe. And also what that means for her, because based on dialogue options, it's always been a pretty dramatic difference for me in terms of like the nice thing is pretty nice and the mean thing is sometimes very funny but extremely mean, like super mean. So I'm trying to think of all the in-between options, which I would assume would be more of the like constant battle she's talking about. But even then, the only things I can really think of that I've seen be presumably in-between options are like helping somebody but asking for money, or going full mercenary and being like, I'm not helping you unless you pay me, but then I'll help you, sort of thing. The morally gray options. But I'm trying to think of any morally gray options I've run into that aren't like, or at least not dramatically evil options that don't involve like getting money from people. The more invested, the better. Yeah. Part of why I love BioWare games so much is that they reward the investment, at least. Hey, Uber, how's it going? Good to see you. Easier to be evil than to be mean. Interesting. Easier to be evil than to be mean. I suppose so. I'm trying to think if that applies to any of the, like, decision points I've run into yet. Basically, I'm trying to figure out what the honest answer is to this question. And also, what she would most likely be struggling with. Because I don't want to make her feel like she's inherently a bad person by being like, no, it's just that easy. But most of the time it kind of is. I mean, you guys have seen me a couple times. I've been like, I'll help you, but what's in it for me? That sort of thing. Because, honestly, being 100% angel is a really quick way to go broke. I mean, sometimes people are entirely happy to pay you for your help, but they won't offer unless you ask, you know? Being good is harder, You can't be good too much, or you'll shine so bright you'll burn out. Give everyone your money and ask for nothing in return. Exactly. Leaves you exhausted. I think it applies in real life, too. Doesn't mean you're evil, in my opinion. Apathy can be evil, though, in some context. I agree with that entirely, I think. The only part I think there would be an argument to really be made would be, like, if you go another layer deep, you could say that being quote-unquote good or generous, let's say, being generous to the point where you give everyone your money could arguably be overall less good, because then you end up relying on the charity of others, which could be going to somebody who needs it and not because they were an idiot who gave away all their money. So it could be argued that meeting your own basic needs first is the better option because you become less of a drain on those around you, right? But I guess at that level, and it's a level that the dialogue options allow, or that the construction of a game allows, I suppose. There are only so many layers deep they can go. Plus, my brain is notorious for doing devil's advocate things. So it'll find a way to play devil's advocate regardless. But in general, I totally agree. I guess what I'm mostly wondering is what her battle is. Like, in an actual tangible sense. Like, constant battle, light versus dark, good versus evil, all that stuff is very, like, vague. Like, philosophical? Theoretical? Non-concrete. Basically, I'm wondering what that actually looks like. Because different people are tempted by different things, right? For me, obviously the temptation of getting paid for my efforts is the one I'm most likely to fall to. But for other people, it might be like power over others or shiny trinkets. Not gonna lie, that one would probably be right up there with getting paid for my work in terms of temptations for me. Because loot goblin. But you know. I really like... See, this is why I love streaming and I love having you guys in chat to talk with, because my brain likes taking these sorts of philosophical, theoretical detours anyway. But it's so much more fun when you can talk about it with other people. In terms of this specific question, I think I've gone way farther than it needed to be taken in terms of figuring out how to answer. I haven't even started my normal level of overthinking yet. The struggle for me sometimes is obviously the I relate to you thing. Oh, I knew you loved me. I love all you guys. I appreciate the hell out of you guys for hanging out and chatting with me about this stuff. KOTOR 2 pokes Star Wars in the belly a lot, but I won't say much more. Interesting. Very interesting. I hope when I start KOTOR 2, you'll remind me that you said that, because I'm very curious now. I might not even forget, honestly. A very curiosity-inducing statement. Yeah. trying to figure out the, like, implication difference between 1 and 3, basically. I guess 3 is more of a, no, I'm just naturally this good. I don't even have to think about it sort of answer. Whereas I guess 1 would be more of the more humble, like, I'm just doing the best I can and so far it's worked out sort of thing. I guess I'm going between 1 and 2. Two, I guess, isn't a lie. This is what got me started wondering what the battle specifically was for her. Because I was thinking, what would that... Can I honestly say it's a struggle for me sometimes? Or would that honestly be a lie? If we're just talking like dialogue choices and how hard it is to not choose the quote-unquote pure good option every single time, I guess you could say it's a struggle for me sometimes, because I've definitely been like, you know, I think out of the 2 times I've been presented with the opportunity to give somebody more money than they're begging for, I did not do it the first time, and I did do it the second time. But also, like, I regularly take the option where I, you know, accept a reward that's been promised or offered. But I don't usually press for more. I guess I could sort of call that, like... guess you could say that that's, like, struggle to be... what seems to be presented as the pure good angel sort of option. So I wouldn't necessarily be lying to her, if that's the case. I came all the way back around to remembering why I had the question about what her constant battle was to begin with. Kotor 2 is much more darker. Interesting. Struggle still feels like too strong of a word for it to be entirely truthful. I know I'm way excessively overthinking this now, I'm sorry. But I like Bastila, and I don't want to make her feel bad for her constant battle. But also, I don't understand what she means by that, so... just do what I think is right.
And that's enough for you. If only it were as easy for me. If only the right path was always clear. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger, too quick to get involved. My instructors constantly berated me for it. I've often dreamed that I might be able to confront Darth Malak myself. I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused, and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side.
There's a line at the end of that first thing she said. Something about it being complicated or it not always being clear, I think is what she said, something like that. And the thought I was having, I'm really missing Veilguard's ability to pause, like, cutscene conversations and things at the press of a button and then just hit play again. I really appreciated that from that game. But I was thinking, my first thought was, oh, she's an overthinker too. And then my second thought was, oh, poor Bastila, you should see how long I spend deciding on these stupid dialogue options. It may become evident very quickly that things aren't always as clear to me as they might seem. Maybe I should have chosen the struggle dialogue. Trying to figure out what number 1 means. Thinks about all the evil that the Sith have caused, and she gets so furious. We're told that these feelings are the path of the dark side. You're saying you don't believe in the corruption of the dark side. Maybe it'll clarify?
I don't know. Would the power I use to kill Darth Malak be too tempting to keep using? Would I become the kind of evil I want to destroy? The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak, I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I... No. Wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? Even worse, who am I to try and make you question them?
This is the first time in this whole game I think I've seen there only be one dialogue option where it's not just like there's nothing else to ask this person, so you click leave or whatever. It's just, what?
These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind. Please, forget I ever mentioned this. Let's just return to our mission.
Oh yeah, if only the right path was always clear, is what she said, and I was like, oh, you're an overthinker. Now I'm thinking I probably should have chosen the struggle option just because of that one sentence. Because in a meta sense, I definitely struggle. I definitely overthink, and the right path is not always clear. But it's not that the good path isn't always clear or whatever, although maybe sometimes with companions, but in general, the good path is generally clear. But maybe not the right path in terms of my own decision making. Obviously. It's evidenced by the fact that I just spent, what, like 10 minutes on a single dialogue? To be fair, we were talking philosophy for some of that, but still.